Hey guys, in this video I'm going to cover the MPC King Kong playsets, and yeah, there were two. This is the jungle set you see set up before you here, and this is a book called The Big Toy Box at Sears. It reprints the catalog pages for the boys' toys from the 50s and 60s. I'm going to show you the ad. That's the original ad for the King Kong Jungle set. $3.97 was all it was back then. See if I can get that. And of course, it doesn't want to focus correctly. But anyway, you get the idea. It was available in 1967. And that's when I received my set for Christmas. And this is not that set. That slipped through my fingers a long time ago. But I got this one from an eBay seller a few years ago. And here's the original box for it. Show the different sides of it here. These are usually pretty messed up when you see them for sale on eBay. Most of these boxes did not survive well. And the gimmick here was the magnetic action hand that allowed Kong to hold on to the characters from the cartoon. This playset was based on the King Kong show by Rankin Bass that ran in 1966 on Saturday mornings. And I used to watch it all the time, and you know, I was really elated as a kid when I found this under the Christmas tree in 1967 for Christmas. Here is a copy of the original instructions. I couldn't find the original instructions, and this set that I bought did not have those. So this is a copy. It's two-sided, just like the original. So anyway, I think the original set contained like 14 animals, and this one actually has 16. I have a couple of extra here. These bison, of course, are American bison, and I think this is supposed to take place probably in Africa because it's based on the jungle sets by MPC. And instead of having it like the cartoon where it had Kong with dinosaurs on Skull Island, they just limited it to adding the King Kong figure and those four character figures from the cartoon to one of their jungle sets. And you know, it's not the best. I mean, you always want to see King Kong fighting a Tyrannosaurus and all that, but it was still pretty cool. And it's pretty cool now. It brings back a lot of good memories. Here are some of the parts to it. There's the hut and the cooking pot and the natives. And there's the bridge. Those bridges are almost always damaged when you find them. These handholds, they look like rope. This is actually kind of brittle, this plastic, and it damages very easily. This one is not broken, which is a miracle. You very seldom ever see them not broken. And that is supposed to hook onto the slots in the two big trees there and be like a tree bridge. By the way, these river sections do not come with a playset. I just added them, you know, to give a cool place to put the bridge, because I don't want to use my bridge hooked up to these trees because it's so brittle. You got to kind of pop it in there, and you know, the plastic gets old and you don't want to stress it unduly. So I just set it up a different way instead of attaching the bridge to the trees. Those trees are brittle too. But I mean, well, they're made of hard plastic. They're not really that brittle, like as in getting ready to break, but you don't want to stress them. And that is the standard MPC mountain set with the two rock arches. And it was brown in this playset. That's the original one that came with the playset. Almost all this stuff is original except for the instructions and of course the river. Uh, these cutouts I use for the river, like I was saying. Now this is another sought after piece. This canoe. It's like I think like a war canoe. Anyway, it's got this antelope figurehead that's often missing, and the paddles, and it's hard to find that complete. Actually, those sell for a premium on eBay because it's kind of hard to find them. There's the cage, and there's a tiger in it, even though this is supposed to, be like in Africa or whatever. Somehow a tiger got down there, and they got it in the cage. And there's the little gorilla figure and some elephants and whatnot. Anyway, getting on to the important figures here. Here's the King Kong figure. This is the main figure of the set, of course. The arms are articulated. It has a little magnetic hand there, magnet in there, and those are often damaged. Even this one has a little bit of plastic missing on the edge of the magnet. And sometimes they're cracked really bad there. And the head of this figure is made of rubber. You can pop it off of this body here. When I was a kid, I'd pop the head off and use it in the bathtub as a water gun. Anyway, my original King Kong is long gone, but here's another common defect for these things. The heels, I think the plastic was a little thin on the heels, because even this one, which is in fairly decent shape, has a little hole right there. And oftentimes when you see these things for sale on eBay, these heels are like ripped out. But, all in all, this one is actually in pretty decent shape. And here are the character figures. There's the Bobby Bond figure, the little boy. It's like the star of the show with Kong. And let's see if this thing, yeah, it works. He can like hold on to the character figures, with the magnet. Each character figure has a little piece of metal attached to them so that Kong can hang on to them and lift them up. And here's his sister, Susan Bond. And Captain Englehorn. And Professor Bond, the father. And so anyway, this was a pretty cool set. I mean, it's nothing earth-shattering as play sets go, but it's pretty well sought after these days. And if you can ever find one, you never find them totally complete. I mean, if you could ever find a sealed set, that's maybe the only way you could find a complete one. But even the ones that are almost complete with the components in nice condition seem to sell for like $500 or $600 on eBay when they finally ever come up. Usually you find just pieces and parts, and a lot of them are usually broken. And I'm going to pause the video and get the other playset I was going to show. Okay, this one here is the King Kong window box set. And this is legitimately rare. The bigger set, the King Kong Jungle set, is scarce in complete condition, undamaged. But this one is infinitely more rare than that. I don't know what the deal was. For one thing, the cardboard is rather thin on this box. It did not survive well. Of course, the back of it is blank. And they did not go for the jungle setting with this. This is like after he goes to New York, and it's got some soldiers and tank in there. But anyway, this is actually complete. I had to replace one soldier. I bought this from an eBay seller several years ago, and the listing wasn't very good because this person didn't know what they had. Not many people would know about this. I mean, I had never heard of it before, but I recognized it because I'm familiar with MPC Playsets from when I was a kid. And she said it wasn't complete, but actually it is. This insert in here of Skull Island was all there, and the cellophane is intact. And now it's got all 6 MPC soldiers. It was easy to find a replacement for that one missing soldier. And of course a little MPC tank there, and all the character figures. And this King Kong in this set is the best condition one I've ever seen. Evidently this was never played with. I've never seen another one of these MPC King Kongs, and I've seen a lot of listings on eBay in various conditions, but I've never seen one in this nice a condition. This is literally undamaged. There's nothing wrong with it. So anyway, there you go. That's the window box set. King Kong window box set. And I have no idea what that would actually be worth. I mean, I really didn't pay that much for it. I had some duplicate things in there that I ended up selling and made back just about everything I spent on it. So just off the duplicate stuff, I pretty much got it for free. Of course, that's been a few years ago. I've only ever seen one example of that aside from this one. And it came up on eBay around about the same time, a little bit after I got this one, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And it was crushed. The box was crushed. The cellophane was missing. I don't think it was complete, as far as the components either. But anyway, this is the nicest one that I've ever seen of the 2 total that I've seen. And here's the original instructions that came with that set. Amazingly, those survived. And the back of it's blank, but you can tell from the color of the paper how old that is. From 1967. And I'm pretty sure this came out the same year that, the King Kong Jungle set came out in 67. So, they were taking advantage of the popularity of the cartoon, and it showed in reruns for the late, through the late 60s, maybe into the 70s, I don't know. But anyway, that's a look at some baby boomer toys from the 60s. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.